Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So if you've been following my channel, you know that I am filing a $10,000 small claim suit against Uber for a wrongful deactivation. And I'm getting a lot of flack and a lot of, well, you can't do that because, it's tort law, or, you can't sue an employer because it's California, whatever the case may be. I have 3 prior videos to this, and this is going to be the last video I do because my court date is on the 28th, and I will talk to you more about it. Stick around. Hey everybody, thanks for sticking around. So if you have been following my channel, you'll know, like I said, that I have a $10,000 wrongful termination suit against Uber. If you were just checking the internet and just happened to come across this video, there's 3 more before it. This is number 4. So I just got back from the courthouse and I am done as far as all my paperwork, all my filing, everything. So what I want to do in this video is kind of sum it all up. Can't give you too much information. What I can tell you, and I'll get it out right now, is that I'm going to win. I'm very positive. I have a very good feeling about this. I can't tell you why, but I can tell you that I have, and I even had people tell me, it doesn't matter. I have discussed this with my legal advisor, my attorney, and it looks really good. And I hope that when it's all done, I'll have a nice big fat video to share with everybody that's driven for these platforms who's been wrongfully deactivated, and you guys can stand up and take these companies for what you deserve and what they deserve for doing something wrong. So I'm going to go over a couple things here, and just because this is the internet and people have, there's a lot of doubting Thomases and negative Nancy's out there. So let's start with this. Here is my filing. It's an SC 100 small claims, and as you can see, it was filed. There's my courthouse right there against Uber Technologies. My court date is February 28th of this year. There you go. Now, this is the cool part. In the SC 100, it says, if the defendant is a corporation, limited liability company, or public entity, the person or authorized or agent authorized for service of process needs to be named. Well, who is the face of Uber? That would be Dara Khosrowshahi. And I took the liberty of naming Dara in the lawsuit. Now you see, I had set the address to 1455 Main Street in San Francisco, and there's a reason why I pointed that out. But Dara is the representative for Uber in this lawsuit. Can he have an attorney? Because we already know. Well, hang on, let me back up. Here is the proof of service. And I'm just kind of throwing this all up there because, well, if it's on the internet, it's true, right? I'm just kidding. It's just video documentation. But right here, CT Corporation System, right? Yeah, CT Corporation System in Glendale is where they were actually served. Find that interesting. So I Googled them. Well, guess what? They're a law firm. Why did they serve a law firm? Well, I guess they didn't want to take it up in San Francisco. I don't know. They cannot represent Uber. Small claims. And I am going to look down at my laptop. I don't have OBS. So first and foremost, If the defendant does not reply to your claim, you can ask the court to enter a judgment by default, which basically means you win because they didn't show up. Now, can an attorney, and I've gotten this is through the California, LA County Supreme Court. I'm sorry, LA County Superior Court. LA County Superior Court. You are not allowed to have a lawyer or attorney represent you in a small claims hearing. Okay, well, bottom line on that one is, you already know that in California it's $10,000. But you are not allowed to have a lawyer represent you in a small claims hearing or at small claims court. Period. So, for those naysayers who think that, Uber's going to bring a slew of attorneys in a small claims court, not in California. It's me against Uber. And in this case, Dara. And I'll explain why. Because if Dara doesn't show up, the court can decide you've won because the defendant didn't reply. Ask the court for a judgment by default. You can ask for a judgment by default by requesting a judgment on the money claim. So, I named him. He is part of this case. He has to show up. If he doesn't show up, now, I did find out that he, or I should say, Uber can file a. I didn't get the page number or whatever, the form number, but they've got 2 days and they can request for somebody to represent them, but that person cannot be a party to the claim. They can only assist in the court hearing, but they can't actually go through everything. So they're very limited to what they could do, and they cannot have any type of legal background. So far, everything that I've done has been spot on, and they have very little room to wiggle with. Actually, they have none. But the next thing I wanted to share with you guys is to file a small claims court, you must be at least 18 or legally emancipated, mentally competent, or the legal guardian of someone if they are under 18. So, and a corporation or other legal entity, i.e. Uber or Lyft or Doordash, a corporation or other legal entity that is not a natural person can be represented by a regular employee. That would be Dara Khosrowshahi. An officer or a director or a partner can be represented by a partner or regular employee of the partnership. The representative may not be an attorney or person whose only job to represent the party in small claims court. So, Dara is, as it says right here, and this is the Department of Consumer Affairs, by the way. You can look it up. Dara is a regular employee. He is an officer, chief executive officer, as a matter of fact, of Uber, and he is a partner. So, he's named in that lawsuit. I hope he shows up. I'd like to meet the guy. All right, so we've got that out of the way. Now, the last thing I wanted to share with you is, and again, we're summing this up, what you can actually sue for. And it's not just money. Let me stop right there. I want to give a shout out to Rideshare Professor. Rideshare Professor. He has a legal team, and he has a company called Gig Rocket. And if you don't want to do what I'm doing, and you want some help, go over to Rideshare Professor. And I'll tag him down. He'll be down in the description below. I'll tag his channel down there. Send him an email. He is a outspoken voice for drivers and is fed up with Uber and Lyft and all this crap, and is a very good friend of mine. I trust him. you don't want to take the steps I'm doing, go over to Rideshare Professor. Let them know that Rideshare Trickster sent you over. Or not. But he's a good guy, and he is a strong advocate for drivers. So, what can you sue for? Well, monetary compensation, and in small claims court, it is $10,000. Civil court, well, that's a whole different ball of wax. But the amount of money you need to be considerate of the amount of money that your state places on small claims cases. In California, it's $10,000. Now, what the other part of this is, what type of relief are you seeking? Well, you have the right to two type. I'm just going to read it the way it is, and this again, okay. You also have the right to make sure you are asking Uber for the right type of compensation. There are two types of awards that you can seek in a lawsuit. First is monetary, dollar amount, $10,000. And the second is an equitable settlement. Equitable. What is equitable? Well, equitable is technically a non-monetary settlement also. So aside from the $10,000 for the loss of wages, financial stress, emotional stress, financial hardship, and all the other crap that they did wrong, the non-monetary equitable portion of the small claim suit is getting reactivated, getting put back on the platform, being able to use the app, being able to drive for them again. And what I've added in a amendment to my case is the types of rides I can accept. I'll let you know what those are on the 28th or 29th. Again, that's when my court date is. So there you have it. That's a summary of what's going on. Sorry, I know the video, we're almost 13 minutes into this, but I want to be specific. I don't want to mess things up. I'm tired of these companies. I'm tired of them raising rates and raising rates and raising rates for passengers, yet cutting rates for drivers. It's unacceptable. I mean, it used to be that driver got 80% and Uber and Lyft took 20%. And it was good 3-4 years ago. Now, these companies are taking as much as 80% of the fare. And you're only getting 20%. They may charge a passenger $100 for a trip. And you're only going to get 20%. Think about it. Okay? But, am I going to win? Yeah, you're damn right I'm going to win. Because I've got the confidence and I've got enough evidence, and talking to my legal advisors, I have a damn good case. And I'm not going to give you the reasons why until after the court date. And then I'll share everything with you. But, again, check out Rideshare Professor if you don't want to do this yourself. I wanted to do this myself. I have a W-2 job, but you know what? They pissed me off. And somebody's got to do it. They say the journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. You know, it does. Sticks and stones may break your bones, but words can be devastating. And you bet your ass the pen is mightier than the sword, because especially in a court of law. So, drivers, and we already know there's going to be drivers that just don't give a shit to do anything. They're just going to suck it up and they're going to take whatever they get, because the amount of money that's being, the amount that you're making is being just squandered down to nothing. You've got your desperados that just, it's all they have to make a little extra money, and they're going to take everything. But the majority of drivers are smart. Be one of those smart drivers. When they're saying, Southern California or nationwide, whatever the case may be, on a certain day or 2 days or whatever, shut your app down, shut it down. Take a couple days off, breathe. It may be a little financially hard. It's not going to kill you. But if you don't stand up, you're never going to get anywhere, and they're constantly going to use you as a doormat. I'm one person. I actually went through 3 years of cases in LA County. Not one. Actually, I'm sorry, I found 3 out of thousands of cases against Uber. Not hundreds, thousands of 97 pages for 3 years. Only 3 were small claim suits. And I find that sad. It should be the other way around. But people are afraid of these companies. I'm not. I'm too old to be afraid of these companies. I don't give a shit about Uber. Okay? I'm standing up for my rights. I'm standing up because what they did was wrong. And I'm going to make them pay for it. And I hope that when you see that it can be done, the drivers who have been wrongfully deactivated will jump on the bandwagon. Start suing these companies for what you are entitled to. And if you don't want to do it yourself, again, head over to the Rideshare Professor. Check out Gig Rocket. Torsten is a good friend of mine. I trust him. We go back a long way. And again, he's a strong, strong voice for drivers. He follows it really very well. He follows this whole economy very well. This was never meant to be a job. Is it work? Yeah, it's work. You get paid to do something. It's not a job. Think about that, okay? But until the 28th, unless I throw in something in between, be safe, be professional, keep it real. If you must, drive on. I wish you all the best of health. And again, do not be afraid of these companies. Make the companies be afraid of you. Until next time.